Okay, folks, Andrew Bopros here. Well, I want to do a quick video on the quarterback situation that the Chargers have going on right now. We all know that, Justin Herbert is the QB1, of course, top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Recently, Jim Harbaugh talked about the hearing angels as he came back into camp. And I want to talk about the backup quarterback situation. We all know Herbert is the guy. If he's available, he's going to play. We know this. He'll be ready week 1. We know that. But what does this mean for the Chargers moving forward, right? And do we even keep the 2 quarterbacks that we have now currently on the roster? I'm going to give you my take on it. I think it's an interesting little video. So, guys, as always, let's get into it. Bull Bros! Okay, folks, as always, like and subscribe if you do enjoy the content. I'm Andrew Bull Bros. Leave a comment for the algorithm, little thumbs up, all the above, agree or disagree with me. I'm going to talk about some controversial things here pretty soon. So clearly, Jim Harbaugh, when he brought in Luis Perez, I remember, I think right when they brought him in, he said, we need competition for Stick. We need competition for Stick. Stick's been in the league for 5 years now, hasn't really accomplished a whole lot of anything, and has really predominantly just been a sideline coach for Justin Herbert. We all know how he played at the end of last season. So there's some conversations that have to be in place about that. Now, talking about Justin Herbert again, I don't want to just forever tout his accolades, right? We all know, let's level set really quickly here, guys. You don't get a guy like Justin Herbert that sits on the bench. Okay, there's too much value in the NFL. He's easily a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Some would even say top 3. I think Peyton Manning has him at the number 3 at the moment. Herbert can do it all. Okay, he could run, he could throw, all the above, right? You know that, I know that. He is just, I think, as Khalil Mack said, he calls him a savage. So, but the problem is, you got a backup who is a serviceable backup quarterback. Well, it's that Easton Stick. We're going to talk more about that in general, right? Again, you're not going to get a clone of Justin Herbert. That's just not how the NFL works. They're too much value. You could trade a ton of players and draft capital away. You don't give up a guy like Justin Herbert, but you need a serviceable quarterback. So here's the question, guys. I know Greg Roman is really thinking about this moving forward, and he's dodged some of the questions regarding our backup quarterbacks and where we're at with them right now. But look, the reality is this: you need a serviceable quarterback, and I guess the question is this guy serviceable? Okay, I'm posing the question to you guys right now, watching this video. Is Easton Stick a serviceable quarterback? I'm going to pause to let you guys write a comment. I did ask for you guys to write a comment. My thought is the answer is no. And it's disappointing because I've always tried to defend Easton Stick, but to me, he's looked very bad. I've been watching the videos. As you know, I've been doing the shorts and just did one earlier today. His footwork is really bad. He's not driving through the ball. There's things he's doing wrong, right? He gets very happy feet. He's not making precision passes. I don't know if he's nervous. I don't know if he's feeling the pressure, he might get let go. Who knows? But unfortunately, it's not translating in year 5 for him underneath this new regime. And that's unfortunate, guys. At the end of the day, it is what it is, right? So I don't think he's a serviceable quarterback. I know everyone in the Charger. It's a big week, guys. I'm very curious to see how he does. Now, again, he better look really good against the Cowboys this weekend, or we could be talking about a new quarterback very soon. I'm going to talk about what I think is actually going to really happen. I've talked about it briefly on a couple of our other videos in our live episode, but I think it's worth mentioning now. Now, Luis Perez, for a guy that's only been in the system for a very brief period of time, he's doing fine. I think he is more NFL ready and more serviceable than Easton Stick at the moment, which is saying a lot, because Easton Stick has been with the Chargers for 5 years. You would expect him to do more. Unfortunately, he has not. But Luis Perez has shown that he can do everything that Easton Stick can do, minus running, of course. We all know we let Max Duggan go. But Luis Perez has that veteran presence, right? And if you're talking about just a sideline quarterback that's QB2 ready to go, talking about what's going on, in the field, and these are the type of coverages you're seeing. This pass should be open. Here's why, yada yada. Luis Perez can do all that, right? A lot of people like Easton Stick because of his ability to communicate with Justin Herbert. But I also kind of think it might be a little bit of a crutch for him as well because he hasn't performed at all. Perez could step into that role. He's 29 years old. He's seen a lot of different systems, and I think he could be a good sideline coach for Justin Herbert moving forward. So if I had to choose between Stick and Perez right now, I'd probably say, let's go with Perez. He's a veteran. He could do it again, 1 or 2 years. Who knows? This guy's 29 years old. How much longer is he going to be playing? Who knows? Let's talk about some rumors. I know James shared this with me the other day, talking about the Browns. Browns have some interesting quarterbacks that could potentially get moved around. One of which is DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, right? So the Browns have an interesting quarterback situation, right? You know that they have Deshaun Watson and Jameis Winston. A lot of money going to those two guys. But they also have DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and also Tyler Huntley, who played for the Ravens. We'll talk about Tyler Huntley in a moment. But Dorian Thompson-Robinson has been he's very young. I think he's only 24 years old. Looked very good. I mean, some of his statistics that he's done in the preseason games. Completed 53.6% of his passes as a rookie for 440 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. So that's not great numbers. But again, he's a running quarterback. Could work very well in this system. And again, I really do believe that he is a good, young, serviceable quarterback. And really, again, you're not going to get another Justin Herbert, but you need a guy that could come in and win a game or two, or just go 500, right? And just keep the ship afloat until the real starter shows up, your top number 1 quarterback. But again, DTR is signed through 2026 on a standard rookie contract, right? So again, you could go get him, but there are trade rumors that he will be available. I like him as a backup quarterback. Now, the other option would be Tyler Huntley. I would like him more than DTR just because he already knows the Greg Roman system. I think he's a very good Lamar clone. When you start talking about a serviceable quarterback, the cool thing about that, he's kind of like Lamar, right? There's not many people like Justin Herbert, right? You're not going to replicate Justin Herbert, but Tyler Huntley is a very good version of Lamar Jackson. So you could run those Lamar packages if you had to choose. And he also knows the system, right? But again, getting a little older. I think he's 26 now, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 26. Again, last year, 9 regular seasons. He started 9 regular season games for the Ravens over the past 3 seasons. Again, serviceable quarterback on a very, very cheap contract. About $500,000 in guaranteed money. Not a lot of money right now at this point. So you can get him very cheap. Probably trade away a 7th round pick or maybe 2 7th round picks. Who knows? But to me, I think he would be great. And by the way, just so you know, he went to the University of Utah. I saw him play quite a bit in college. I did not expect him to translate that well into an NFL quarterback. So Greg Roman did a very good job working with Tyler Huntley. I would love him to come back as our backup and replace Easton Stick. I think to me, he makes a lot of sense, understands the system moving forward. So I think those are some of the ones that are out there right now as far as trade rumors or potential transaction rumors in the next couple of weeks. Now, again, let's also keep this very clear. I'm going to wrap up kind of my final thoughts. I don't want this video to get too long. That's 4 quarterbacks for the Browns. They are going to release one of those players for sure, if not both of them. I wouldn't think maybe 2, but I think at least 1. So most likely it would be Tyler Huntley. You could risk, okay, cool, let him get released. Maybe another team scoops him up as a backup quarterback, right? And then you could just try and go through the waiver wire transaction. Or you could potentially send over a draft pick and actually sign Huntley at this moment. So I'm very curious to see what happens. If I had to choose, I would think they go after Huntley because he'd be very inexpensive. And again, he would only be a serviceable quarterback. You could release Easton Stick at that point, and then it completely change that quarterback room. Stick has had his options. He's had his opportunities to succeed. Unfortunately, he has not proven to be a very good backup quarterback at the moment for the Chargers. I'm going to wrap up another final thought here, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Again, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you have not. My final thought is, once the 53-man rosters are established, there will be a lot of quarterbacks available, guys. Teams will release quarterbacks and try to put them onto their practice squad, just tuck them away. You could release Stick at that moment. and then just grab whoever's available at that time. And that easily could be the right thing. You keep Luis Perez, try and put Stick on the 53-man roster or the practice squad. And then at that point, you can make a decision on who is the best available quarterback that you could go grab at that moment, whoever that is. I mean, I was hearing Tyler Heineke. I was hearing, a lot of different options out there as well, too. Again, we'll know more again in the coming weeks, but I do suspect Easton Stick will not be with the Chargers come week 1, or if anything, they'll try and tuck him away on the practice squad, which who would want to go get him at this point? He hasn't really, accomplished a whole lot in the NFL. I'm very curious to see how this all plays out. What are your thoughts? Are there some other players that we should be discussing that could potentially be released by other teams, being, a number 2 quarterback role for us, or maybe even another person on the practice squad? What do you guys think? Do you guys even believe in Luis Perez at this point? I mean, do you think he's even a guy that we should keep at this point? Should we just cut him and try and find somebody else? Guys, let me know. As always, Andrew, Bolt Bros. See you guys in the next one.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching Bolt Bros podcast. Let's go.
Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night.